From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go, and it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with the Los Angeles Chargers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On first down, it's Reese. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback. And
right away, he lost the football and picked up by the Chargers. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. The pass receiver turned into a runner, then he turned into a fumbler, and it goes the other way for 6.
I love your description. Although for the offense, they're not too happy about it. But for the defense, what a big-time play for them. Never give up on anything. Sometimes you create your own points.
But the receiver, hard to fault him. He's just going for extra yard.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do, but you have to take care of the football.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Returnable here for Callaway. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. Now Herbert off the bootleg. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. To the air again, Herbert. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And the Jets will take over here at their own 12-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, S2W8. 2nd and 5. Throwing is Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
A first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll have a Jets first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He gets it left side to Johnson. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Now Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's Reese. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? A big gain that time for the Chargers. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Here is Eckler. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
They'll run for the first time with Joshua Kelly. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Kelly, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the air now with Herbert. Setting up the screen to Kelly. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
Herbert. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a jet touchdown. Matt Amendola now for the extra point. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. The Charger drive about to get going. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Herbert. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Complete to Kelly. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Here I come again. Here I come again. 49's the mic. Watch 49. Danny.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. To throw again on 2nd down. Herbert. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Jarrad Davis. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 and a jet touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They'll start on the ground with Kelly. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Herbert gives this one to Kelly. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A give, this is Kelly. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Partner, in our years together, we've never really run into a player that's admitted a doubt or a lack of confidence, right? But right now, I'm just wondering about that interior line because on defense, they're starting to get manhandled at the point of attack. Do they have it in them to figure a way to reverse the tide? Because right now, they're running
take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford, New Jersey. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Wilson. He finds his man complete. It's Reese. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And this is recovered by the Chargers. After all of the turnover woes that they had last week, another turnover on the first drive of the game.
And when you dive into the analytics of football, it's real simple. If you're down in turnover margin, you're not going to win very many football games. The best teams always rank in the upper part of the league in terms of turnover margin.
And last week's number for them was 5 turnovers. And as you saw, another one there. Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 9-yard line.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try to run for it with Kelly. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. They'll try and run for it. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Kelly. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. McCann's got it teed up. one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Wilson. And he slings one that's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he's able to get it back to right around the 27. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Second down at 5. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Throw left side, complete. That's Kelly. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Here's Herbert. And it's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Keenan Allen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. McCann for the point after. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words.
And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown! Elijah Moore, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will shrink to 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll run on first down. Kelly, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. Herbert. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That catch, number 750 of his NFL career, and it puts him even with not just one but 2 Hall of Famers, Michael Irvin and Charlie Joyner. So some pretty good company at 7'5".
Now you're talking about the playmaker, Michael Irvin, and the guy who just made plays, Charlie Joyner. And that's what we're seeing here. Similar style in terms of being dependable, being open, and turning it into plays that you remember. Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 7 yards, the pickup there. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Second down and 3. Now it's Herbert. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that ball incomplete. He couldn't work free from his defender, and now it's third down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Herbert. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Herbert operating from the red zone. Going back to Allen, he's got him again. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eye